Hi guys, welcome to Travel with Austin. I'm Austin, and today I am here in Kentucky at the Blue Heron mining community. So this is an old mining community that was basically reconstructed / preserved by the National Park System that you can come and visit. It is not a fee site, so you can come here for free. And technically it's not a park, I believe it's a national recreation area. So right now we are at the train station actually. During certain seasons, there is a train that will run you back and forth between town, and they built this train station for it. Currently, I am here apparently in the off season. Everything says closed for winter, even though it is not quite winter yet. But still, you can still come and visit it even in the off season. So, in the train station, we actually have a little museum that tells you all about the coal tipple, which you will see in a second. The history of the town, the history of the mine, the history of the Stearns Coal Company who ran the mine here. And something that's actually really interesting that they mentioned several times throughout here is there was basically no written history about this mining town. All of the information that they got about Blue Heron basically came from all the people who used to live in it or knew about it. And it's all basically based on oral history. So on both sides of this right here, they actually have pictures of people who offered their time, their memories, and their photographs basically to help them piece together the history of Blue Heron. Now what's also unique about this place is that all over the place you will find these little push buttons that will activate a speaker that will tell you some history. And I do believe it's actually spoken by the people on these walls. Now, I'm not going to push it because sometimes they can go on for quite a while, and they are actually pretty loud. Now, what I also like about this museum, and it's really the only disappointing thing about being here in the off-season in my opinion, is in two places in the museum, one far back the way we came, and one over here, there are different models. So the one that's far back away, I believe, is a model of the whole town. And this one, I don't know how well you guys can see through the little slots, is a working model of the coal tipple and the bridge that's over it. Now this would be really cool to see, but because this is the off season, they apparently have it completely locked up, which kind of sucks. However, it's not too bad because you actually get to see the real thing. So this is the coal tipple here. In fact, when this place closed in the early 1960s, and by the late 1960s, the coal tipple was basically the only thing that was left. In fact, so little things were left that for the important buildings in town, if you actually see in front of me, they reconstructed them out of this green metal, and just did their frames. And you can kind of just go inside and see their history, and most of them are like this. Only the coal tipple is not like this. And also there's some ruins from the bathhouse, which, interesting fact, the bathhouse, it was used so that when miners got done with the mine, they could take a shower before coming home. They had to go on a strike for 2 days to get that. Now it specifically said a wildcat strike, which I'm not really sure what that is. But we're going to go and check out the coal tipple. So as you can actually see as we get closer, there are actually old coal cars underneath the tipple. And you can see where the coal would come out of. Now here's actually a picture in 1969. Again, this is less than 10 years after the place was abandoned, and this is how bad the town looked. Now I know it's a bit of a faded photo due to the sun hitting it over time, but you can tell that everything was in complete disrepair. So now as we get to the coal tipple, you can see it looks like it's in excellent condition from the outside. I did see something that described it as a ghost of its former self, but I don't know enough to say if I agree with that or not, because I think it looks pretty cool. So you can see where the coal would have poured down from, and then we have all these old coal cars that are now permanently parked here. You can see inside, and it's really cool because you can, like, even looking up there, you can still see one of the wheels that would turn. And basically, from what I understand, which, again, I could be wrong, they would basically dump coal in here and it would sort it into different sizes because different sizes had different uses. And then it would go into the coal cars, and of course, those were whisked away. So let's come out to the other side here real quick. So here we are coming out on this side. You can see the bridge that goes across it up there. And you can just see how absolutely massive it is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. I'm going to show you guys the entrance to the old mine. Okay, and now we are here at the entrance to the Blue Heron mine. The front of it kind of reminds me of the TNT zone bunkers just a little bit. We have some old equipment out here, and we have the old line going in. Now, as we get further in here, you're going to notice it gets very dark very quick. Also, you cannot notice this, of course, but it is getting very cold very quick. And sadly, you won't be able to see as well as I can currently see just due to the camera. But right in front of me, there are tracks. And then the tracks lead up to a minecart, which is what you can kind of see shimmering. And then beyond that, it is actually bricked off, so no one can get in there. So this is the entrance that was used until the place closed in the 60s. And there are information boards here, of course. It's actually very interesting to learn that only 250,000 tons of the 500 million tons that were processed in the coal tipple here even came from this mine. So it seems like this mine was definitely a huge disappointment compared to what they wanted it to be. And now as we continue walking, we're passing by one of those metal structures I mentioned earlier. This would have been the frame for the building, and they'll actually tell us what it is here. So this is the shop. It would have been a repair terminal for the locomotives and trams cars. And you can kind of see how it used to work. So all it is now is a shell, and I kind of have to bet that when they found it, this location probably wasn't really here anymore just because it was built into the hillside. Now, we're going to continue walking. And we're about to get to the part that is the reason I made the trip out here. But first, we're going to look over here. And I believe this is the sand house. So, let's take a look right here. So yes, this is the sand house. Basically, it was just used for storing sand so that the trains could go up and down steep inclines. We can't go inside of it, but we can take a look through the grate here. And yeah, as you can see, it just honestly looks like it was 3 storage bins. We're looking at one, there's obviously one over there, and there's one over there. So now we're about to hit the reason that I wanted to come here, and it is the bridge that goes over the coal tipple. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to kind of just leave this with some music. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the walk over the bridge.